What's good, everybody? My name is Ken, and 4 months ago, I started posting daily cinematic shorts on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts as well. I was basically documenting my faith and entrepreneurship journey on Instagram and all these social media apps. And fast forward 4 months later, I have accumulated over 470,000 followers on IG, 190,000 on TikTok, so in total about 660 plus followers altogether, and 30 million views on IG, 16 mil on TikTok with all my short form videos, which is 46 million views plus across all social media platforms. This is how much I've earned from monetizing my personal brand in the past 4 months, and this is my growth recently. I also run a community to help content creators like yourself do the exact same. For example, Boy, he reached 250k views in the latest 3 posts that he did on TikTok, which is great. This is all of these people are part of my community that I run called Creatopia. And today we're going to be filming, this is going to be like a really raw, uncut video. Going to be very casual, and I'm just going to give some free value, some free sauce for you guys. And basically, I'm going to go through the reps that our community members have posted within this past week. We call these weekly rep reviews. And so giving back to the community and also giving you guys some free sauce for those of you who aren't in the community. So yeah, if you are interested in joining, link is everywhere in the description. Hopefully I remember to put it in the comments as well. But let's just scroll down to 7 days ago. And see who I can. Okay, let's start with Orlando. All right, rep 2. I just uploaded the second dynamic video. Hope you enjoy. I think I gave him some feedback already. Our team also gave him some feedback, but let's just go ahead and watch it. Oh yeah, he's a Spanish creator, so I can't understand any of this, but I can assume what he's talking about, which is journaling.
¿Pero por qué? Porque hacía todo lo que el desarrollo personal decía, pero lo hacía sin Cristo. Bienvenido al capítulo 2 de Walking with God. Un día me pregunté, ¿y si no se trata solo de mejorarme a mí mismo, sino también de conocer a quien me creó? Ese fue el día en que todo cambió. Dejé de intentar ser mi propio salvador y empecé a tener una relación real con Dios. Empecé a orar, a leer su palabra, pero no por religión, sino porque sabía que sin él estaba construyendo sobre arena. Y bro, ahí fue cuando entendí que el verdadero desarrollo no empieza con Dios.
Okay. One thing that gives me the OCD is like misaligning the shots. So if you can see right here, like the shot itself is misaligned, right? Because it's not symmetrically, vertically symmetrical, and you're not using the rule of thirds well with the camera that you have. I'm pretty sure Orlando uses an iPhone. So Orlando, I know you're watching this because I'm going to tag you. Remember to shoot using the rule of thirds. All right. Make sure that all of your walls, all of the props, and the doors, tables, everything is aligned horizontally and vertically, and make sure that everything is symmetrical, because people can tell when it's misaligned, and it doesn't feel good when you watch something that's misaligned, right? It's very obvious that it's at an angle, unless you're doing a dot shot, which nobody really does. So yeah, if you're doing a Dutch shot intentionally, that means you're actually putting it at an angle, for example, like this, right? And yeah.
Disciplina, sino con fe. Fe en que Dios me ama incluso cuando fallo. Fe en que Él me está formando y no destruyendo. Y ahora que miro atrás.
Also, I would experiment with zooms. So with your scenes, you can zoom in with like 2 or 3 clips, same pace, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and then pattern break, right? That's what a lot of us do. And then after your pattern break, you can zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, and then pattern break again, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, right? So with all your clips, play around with slow zooms, not fast zooms. I would only do fast zooms in the hook. And even then with my videos, like I don't even do fast, like really, really quick zooms, you know? A lot of people would like to do that, but for me, you can see in this video, that's the slow zoom right there. Like that one, the first 2 shots right here, first 2 to 3 shots, that was a slow zoom. So yeah, 400k views there. Not to brag. Sorry.
Tras todo ese crecimiento sin Dios fue solo ruido. Si tú estás en esa etapa queriendo mejorar pero sintiéndote perdido, empieza con Cristo. Todo lo demás vendrá por añadidura. God bless you. Por más de...
I would also change up the music a little bit. One thing that I did tell the members in the latest strategy call that we had, I think it was yesterday, is to change up your music. So you can use one track, for example, a hip hop beat in your hook or the first half of your video, and then you would completely switch it up to a completely different genre in the second half or the final line of your video. Usually what I do is I use a Kendrick beat in the hook, and then I move on to like what Tyler the Creator, Kanye West, something like that in the middle, and then I switch to worship. And then sometimes, if the video is long, I switch to like movie soundtracks, right? And then once I said movie soundtracks in the call, people were like, "What? That's crazy! That's just such a good idea!" And like, I'm like, "Bro, how did you not like? Come on, dude! Use any type of soundtrack or instrumental in the world, like literally. Movies that inspire you, movies that make you feel nostalgic. Your dream avatar is going to be really attracted to that stuff, and people will understand the references because I get comments like, "Oh, dude, he used the Transformers soundtrack. He used the Dune soundtrack. You know, the Dune movie. I love the score from there. But yeah, like use different types of music and genres.
6 meses todo
It makes your video more like interesting, you know.
eso no va a crecer. Leía libros.
But yeah, great video. I think I said something here. Try and keep the volume of your voice the same throughout the video. Yeah, I think some parts of your video, your voice was a little lower in some clips, and then some other clips, your voice is a little higher. Try and keep it maintained, right? So throughout the video, it's like one consistent volume. What helps is to when you're editing, you watch your video again from the start and just close your eyes. So you basically close your eyes, play from the start, and just open up your ears and listen to the entire track, basically, right?
Yeah, yo
And then you can subtly tell which clips are a little lower or sound a little bit too much, right? But yeah, keep it up, bro. Keep it up. Very, very good. It's only your second rep, which is crazy, dude. I'm very proud. Let's check out some more reps. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna rep 3. Let's get it. I'm gonna keep this whole thing raw because for those of you who aren't in Creatopia and actually want to start growing, I might as well I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to like help you guys out, So value over virality, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the type of videos that I like personally too. When it's just like a full raw breakdown.
Que cambió por completo mi forma de ver la fe. Ya no finge hasta que lo logres, sino que es mucho más poderoso que solo un par de afirmaciones. Capítulo 3 de Walking with God.
I think there's something wrong with the what is it? Okay, one thing is make sure that again, rule of thirds, align the table horizontally, right? You want to make it completely straight. Okay. In your iPhone, you should have grids. You should have grid lines. Right there, right? Use these little grid lines to align it with your shot, to align it with any subject, any object, any table, any surface, any wall, stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out, your shadows might be too low, dude. I think your shadows is a little bit too low, and so it kind of looks dark. So I would either increase the shadows or increase the exposure, just by a little tiny bit. Just by a tiny bit.
Casi 3 metros. Pero aquí viene lo importante. Antes que apareciera el gigante, ya había una promesa sobre la vida de David. Dios ya le había dicho que iba a ser rey. Así que cuando David se para frente a Goliat.
Yeah, I would keep on changing music, by the way. One thing that I want to also mention with soundtracks and music, you want to make it like an instrument, right? So let's say you have all of these tracks you downloaded already from movies, from your favorite music, from games, right? Minecraft soundtrack. You have this library, and it's up to you to squeeze as many soundtracks or as many songs or tracks or instrumentals into one single video. And usually, I would like to keep it less than 5 soundtracks, 5 independent pieces of music. Sometimes 4, but usually it's around 3 to 4 that I do. So have at least 3 different soundtracks that you use in a 1-minute video or a 45-second video. Okay. So with this Goliath segment, I would have changed the beat already. Like within the first 10 seconds, I would have changed the beat. That's the one thing that I didn't actually even mention in my course. I should have mentioned it, but within 10 seconds, I would have already switched up the beat because you want to tell your story in the most unexpected way possible. And music is a very, very subtle way to do it, but it's also really effective because these short form platforms have a very funny way of using music as the foundation of their content.
Uno de los dos íbamos
especially on TikTok, because TikTok is literally carried by music.
a morir, no iba a ser yo. Y eso no es orgullo. Eso es lo que pasa cuando caminas con palabras. No peleas por tu fuerza, peleas por la promesa que Dios te brindó. Si Dios te prometió algo, agárrate a esa promesa porque Él nunca va a poner nada en tu cabeza que no puedas lograr. Si Él lo dijo, se hará. Lo único que puede detener
I like that.
es rendirte.
That's really
Así
nice.
que cada vez que te
That's a really nice shot. I like it.
si vas a lograrlo. Levántate como David, camina sin miedo. Y si Él lo prometió, se va a cumplir. Punto. God bless you. Hay una historia
I like that.
en el Antiguo Testamento que cambió por completo mi forma de...
I wouldn't do the rising sound effect. I don't really like that. Unless I only do that when I never do that in the hook, but I do that sometimes with cinematic scenes. Sorry, excuse me. For example, like if I'm leading to reveal some Bible verse or something, then I would have a very slow riser effect, riser sound effect. I wouldn't have it in like the first 3 seconds. A lot of people do that, and I think it's like oversaturated, that thing. Overused. But yeah, keep it raw. Keep it up, by the way. I think I gave you feedback here. Everything is looking really good. I would work on your speaking, especially emphasis. Yeah, definitely emphasize your words more and actually mean what you say. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people, when they create content, it just feels dead. It just feels like they're creating for the sake of staying consistent, or creating because they want to brag about how many posts they've posted, and then eventually complain like, "Oh, I haven't gone viral. I've posted 100 times." It's because you're not trying. Like, you know what I mean? So when saying keywords in your script, you want to make your viewers feel the weight of your words. Actually mean what you say. Spit your words out. Preach. Have weight with the words that you say. I usually capitalize my keywords. So like this, for example, I usually capitalize my keywords during scripting. So I know I need to say them with emphasis and power, right? And sometimes you got to slow down the pace when you say these words as well. So don't worry about slowing it down. Okay. Of course, keep it real though. Don't fake it too much. Yeah. Happy Easter and God bless. Great work, Orlando. Joshua's next. Let's get it.
This gym is not just four walls. It's your opportunity for rebellion against the loop of life. Most people live their whole life.
Okay. It's your opportunity to rebel against. What did you say? Sorry.
Is not
Okay, again, try and align your shot horizontally and vertically. Very important.
just four walls.
Makes it 10 times cleaner.
It's your opportunity for rebellion
It's your opportunity for rebellion
against the loop of life.
against the loop of life. You see how you pause in between these sentences in this one whole sentence? I wouldn't do that. I would say it in one whole go. Again, like the last week's rep review, I said this again. Like, you guys, sometimes you have to say your lines in one whole go, one whole sweep, because people are too used to typical self-help advice, right? So if you're saying it's your opportunity, the gym is more than four walls. It's your opportunity. Like, I know I'm exaggerating this, but you guys need to see how consumers see. You know what I mean? Because we have, especially us, right? We're also consumers. We have very fast and mashed attention spans. So we can actually retain information a lot in the span of seconds. You know what I mean? So that's why I teach the heavy hook framework in the course as well. So with heavy hooks, you want to say your whole line, even if it's like 2 whole lines of just dreams and pains, right? You want to say it in one whole go, because it sounds like it's yapping when you say it, and it's really hard to say it as well. But when you get it in one whole go, without stuttering, without pauses, without any mistakes, right, and make it sound real, like you're yapping to a best friend, then it becomes authentic. It becomes realistic, right? It actually becomes something that your viewers will feel like, oh, I'm getting called out by this, you know.
Most people live their whole lives.
And also, one thing that I would incorporate in your content, Josh, is the story starter words. So we have this framework. I think it's here somewhere. I can show you real quick. Story starter scripting, yeah. So we have like 9 words that we use again and again. Mostly it's like these 5, but they are called and, but, then, so, because, now, therefore, however. This is pretty much how you start every single line, because these words connect different pieces, like different lines together to make a story, right? So if you say, so a year ago, I was reading my Bible from front to back and praying every single night because I was so down bad and I couldn't quit my lustful habits. But even when, so you switch it up, you use but to switch it up. But even after begging God to forgive me, I kept relapsing again and again until, so he's teasing them, until I realized that sin is not an action. Raw Faith episode 6, that's fine. So, now you introduce a new part of the story. So, these were the no-no activities at my shop, blah, blah, blah. Then you continue the story. Then one day I found an interesting verse from Psalms. So you keep the story going up and down in roller coasters. With your video here, I have to give some critique. It feels like it's one straight linear line. You know what I mean? You do not want your video to be a one straight line. You want it to be a roller coaster full of emotions, full of different events, different pieces of advice, right? And tell your story. Tell more stories. You know what I mean? So if you're just preaching about gym and just typical motivation and inspiration, people, it's really hard for people to trust you because of the competition out there. Because like everyone wants to be that guru, everyone wants to be a motivator.
Gym is
Everyone,
not just four walls. It's your opportunity for rebellion against the loop of life.
literally, what gets people to trust you more is storytelling, which is why Creatopia, the foundation of Creatopia, is storytelling. Link in bio.
People live their whole lives stuck. The first steps starts here with movement. That feels like freedom.
See how there's like pauses in between your lines? I know it's like it's kind of authentic, but your video is giving the impression that it's fast paced. So if you want to talk like that, right? Do less cuts. Do you know what I mean? Do less B-roll. Do less captions, for example. Right? Make it more raw. Because if you can't keep up with the fast-paced storytelling genre, then you might as well go all in on this raw, one-to-one talking. Like that stuff goes viral as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, the one thing that I will say to you is prioritize your story over the lesson. Okay, so you start off with the story and then the lesson comes after. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I said you got some really good feedback here too. So listen to your peers. My feedback: smaller text. Yeah, also have smaller text. Your captions are a little bit too big. I'll just decrease it a little bit, decrease the size. No animations with captions unless you're using a sound effect. Huh. My bad. I'll probably keep that in, to be honest, because I'm not bothered to edit. Smaller text, no animations with captions unless you're using a sound effect. I recommend not. Yeah, try not to do animations with your text. I noticed you did that in your hook or something.
This gym is not.
Don't put the follow text over there. It's just annoying. Like nobody will follow unless your content is actually good, right? Follows like follow call to actions is like the cherry on top that people do, but let's be realistic. If you don't like your own content, if you watch your own video and be like, it's alright. I mean, it's not bad. I could have done better. You know, a lot of people are afraid to do that better, to take that extra, spend that extra 2 hours on editing the details of your captions, or what else? Making sure that every shot is neat and aligned properly horizontally and vertically. Making sure that your speaking is authentic, as if you're speaking to a close friend or your younger self, right? Making sure that whatever you preach is actually authentic to you and that you actually like integrate it and implement it in your own life.
It's your opportunity for rebellion against the loop of life. Most people live their.
Yeah. The gym is not for quarter half. Yeah, I just gave you an idea. This gym is not just 4 walls. You could have done like 4 different shots of each wall, you know. So yeah. Other than that, bro, Joshua, great work, dude. Like keep it up. Do not stop. Right? You are already ahead of most content creators anyway. So yeah. Finding you off episode 3. Let's go, Jesse. Okay, one thing that I immediately came up with is is the whites in your shot. It's way too bright, dude. Way too bright. Your jacket is like as if the clouds are opening up. Your jacket came from heaven, dude. But yeah, your shot has way too many whites. Unless that's what you want, I don't know. I just find it annoying and too bright. But yeah, let me. Shots have too many whites in them. Let's just watch the video first. Sorry.
Church. Her name was Samantha. But every time I thought about her, I felt guilty, like she was an idol, like she was pulling me away from God. So I tried to ignore it. I thought if I really wanted to please God, then I had to control my feelings. So one night we were in the same house, and everything in me said, "Run, don't even look at her. Look at her." So for the whole night, I didn't even make eye contact. But on the way home, I got the most random text from my pastor. That was when I realized my crush wasn't a curse. I was just overthinking it. And if I hadn't listened to my spiritual mom, I probably wouldn't have a wife today.
Very nice. Very wholesome. Very wholesome. All right. One thing that I did say as well is, where is it? Avoid adding a photo compilation at the very end. I noticed you did that with the photos of you and your wife. It's wholesome, but add them in the middle of your video, like throughout your video, right? Not at the very end. Don't do that. Otherwise, it's pointless. You might as well put it in between the video. Throughout your video where you need the most, reread your lines. One thing that I do notice about a continuous pattern for all the Creatopians is you guys need to practice your speaking more. In terms of like the mood method, which is new in the course, and also speed and pacing. So like, and also not even that, like the way you use your inflections, right? Whenever you tell stories, it's like, but this happened, then this happened. However, I was thinking this way and I felt really insecure, right? And then you go on to like changing up the pace into this fast segment again. And then you slow it down. Pattern break, fast. Pattern break, slow. Slow. Build up the pace. Build up, fast, fast, fast. Pattern break, cliffhanger. And then that's the video, You really, like, playing with your voice is really, like, it's really nice. So make sure you can make your story interesting with your voice. That's literally like what storytelling is. You can make your voice interesting. Sorry, you can make your story interesting with your voice. A lot of you guys, I know I say, guys, you need to be authentic, you need to be real in your videos. This might be a little bit too forced. You can't force authenticity. Sometimes when you tell your story, you can, enhance your voice a little bit more. You don't have to necessarily be like nonchalant just because you want to be quote unquote real all the time, It doesn't work like that. So you can always enhance your voice, play around with your dialects, with your inflections and stuff like that, up and down, and take the audience to a whole different world in terms of, listening to you, right? One story is your visuals, one story is actually your talking, another story is your visuals, your shots, and your cinematic scenes. Another story that a lot of people don't realize is your audio and your voiceover and your speaking, right? So make sure you tick all those boxes, all right? Remember, shadows are important. Yeah. Decrease your shadows on something, right? Yeah, it's missing a shadows. Your shots are missing shadows a little bit. I think it's because you increase the exposure just a tad bit too much, or increase the whites too much. Add shadows to your captions. Yeah, so I think it's not that hard to read, but I just prefer shadows on captions. You can try it out if you like it. If you don't like it, keep it as it is. I think it's fine. It's just like, when you switch between two different colors, like black and white captions, I don't know, I just feel like it's distracting. It's like too much, because a lot of people, when they view your videos, especially storytelling videos, the one thing they keep their eye on the most is the captions. So you want to make it consistent, I guess. It's just like using two different fonts. Two different colors is like using two different fonts. So I try and keep it in one color. Sometimes I change it to yellow and red for emphasis words, but add shadow so that it can, like, people can see it in any circumstance, in any type of shot. If it's a sun shot, I can put shadow text and then people can still read it. If it's a dark shot in a dark room, I can still put shadow text and people can still read it, right? Obviously the color is white. But yeah, keep it up, bro. Alright, let's go Kuba. Let's go Charles after this. Okay, let me just do it one by one. Sorry, my bad. My bad. We got a lot of reps this week, and we're at like 25 minutes in.
Starting a goal comes down to one simple skill: planning. Welcome to episode 4 of Rewiring Your Mind for Success. Let's go. For a long time, I had the mentality of I'll do it later. Later turned into weeks, turned into months, it even turned into never.
Okay, that meme sound was too loud. I think I said this as well, right? Yeah. I said it was too loud.
8 years to break my plateau.
I didn't say it. Sorry, my bad. I did not say it, but I immediately knew it. As soon as I saw this video, meme sound a bit too loud.
Not seeing results in terms of my fitness goals, but why was I stuck? I realized every time I achieve a small victory in anything I'd start, complacency will settle in.
Okay, you know those shots where you're just standing still? You know how I say, like, I don't know if you've heard me say this before, Kuba, but I always tell people that movement in every single shot or every single clip is very important. So even if you're sitting still or standing and just nodding your head, that's okay. Just make sure to add that cherry on top by doing zoom-ins. So you know how I talked about zoom-ins with Orlando? Do the same, because I do that in almost every single hook, in every single video that I do. It's really subtle, but it keeps the visuals flowing and moving, right? So I did it here, I think. Did I do it? Yeah, see? It's like a very subtle zoom in. Did this here too. I didn't do it here because it's already like really fast paced. I didn't do that here. I should have done that. Did it here. Did it here. And pretty much 95% of my videos I do the zoom ins. So yeah.
I constantly find myself being...
Okay, you did a fade out in the audio for that meme sound. For that meme sound, right? Just cut it off next time. You don't have to do a fade out with the audio. Just cut it off. It's fine.
Busy but never productive. Dreaming about big goals but stuck in autopilot until I...
Hey, that autopilot wasn't synced up to your voice. Make sure that every single caption is synced up. And the more you get used to it, the more faster you'll get. The more time you'll invest, obviously, but the more faster you'll get. And then it's such a good like use of time. I know it sounds... When you do it, it's like, what am I doing? I'm wasting so much time just doing these details. But it's worth it, trust me.
Heard this advice from my previous mentor shared with me. Start treating your life like a business. Schedule things in your calendar. If it's not there, it doesn't get done. I was like, whoa. Working our day jobs 9 to 5 is so structured. I applied this concept into life. Gym time, blocked. Deep work and studies, scheduled. Rest and leisure time, protected. You don't rise to the level of your motivation.
See how you said, see that one line was like, protected, scheduled. That was consistent, right? But then you moved on to the next line really quickly. You don't want to do that. So keep that same pace throughout your entire video. Unless you want to actually intentionally change it up, you know. Usually, you change it up with your voice and not your editing. If that makes sense.
Fall to the level of your systems.
So you don't start a new line as soon as possible, right? When you want to change the pace, you change it with your voice very subtly.
Your calendar like a boss. The reason why you struggle with having no time whenever starting a goal comes down to...
So you did the zoom in here, that's good, but the shot feels like it's misaligned as well. I would have aligned it. Rule of thirds, once again.
One simple skill, planning.
Or, even better, I think I said it here, did I? I swear I said it here. Did I not? Or did I give you... Oh, I gave you this advice, bro. I gave you a review for the same video I did last week. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I did a rep review last week for the same video. But there you go. Mid-rep yet. Let's go, Charles.
In a high-rise penthouse, but I'm building a billion-dollar movement from my home office. Here's the truth. Most people don't lose their real estate...
One thing, red flag right there. Do not look away from the camera. Don't look away, please. If you're talking to someone, you talk to them. Unless you're like me. I always look away like this, right? I'm always talking to the camera, looking in a completely different direction. I never look straight at the camera, but that's just how I talk to people. In your case, it's very obvious that you're reading something. I think you're reading something. I assume you're reading something. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can tell as well.
Wealth because of a bad investment. They lose it because they had no strategy, no
Yeah,
exit.
you definitely are reading something. So don't do that. Make sure you memorize the lines and say it all in one go.
No legacy play.
I think I said this here, right? Yeah. Say your lines without a prompt or script. I said it. Try and keep it short and concise. Cut up your script as much as possible. Yeah, gave you some feedback there too. I gave Oliver feedback already. Let's see who else.
That's the number one thing I'll tell them. Like, you are not allowed. This meets.
I would do some really soft music here, some soft worship background music. My thing is about to die again. But yeah, real 100 times. Dope message. Happy Easter. Have multiple camera POVs. If you already have multiple cameras, get your editor to show the other person listening when you're talking, just so it makes the video feel like an actual conversation and something like a movie, right? Even if it's a podcast. For example, 5 seconds you, and then 2 seconds them, 6 seconds you, 3 seconds them. Add some soft background music or motivational trending sound. No, I wouldn't do the motivational trending sound. Add some soft background music. That is talking about God, right? So worship music is the best for that. Rep 2, Adonis, no, I already did this. That was 8 days ago. Let's see. Rep. Mirina.
I just need to put the rings on. I was just thinking, I've seen so many women crying for ugly boys. No, but for real. Not ugly, but like vampire suckers, you know, when they just... By experience, I've learned to be like, brother, I ain't getting close to you because they're gonna suck the hell out of you and of your life. And then you're gonna be like, why am I eating so much? Why am I gaining so many weight? Why do I not care anymore about the looking pretty? Because I don't feel pretty. Why am I not even speaking out? Because I feel like my voice does not matter anymore. Because even the grown guy, it's like a job. If you're in the grown job, I gained so much weight in the grown job. I was eating my emotions. I was just eating a bag of chips or something sweet because I was like, get me out of this job. Like, I was so now the toxicity there. Oh, that was another level. I was like, oh my god. I started to gain so much weight. And you know, I think as a woman, like, it's not natural to have that desire all the time to like fast food, not real food. And we grew up with real food to be honest. And so you gotta keep them out of your life. It's the hardest choice because when you're in the moment, your brain, he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, you deserve something better. He's gonna be like, no, you're losing something. Even if he's
Okay, I'm going to rush a little bit because my camera is about to die. So I think I'll just read my review here. You don't have to cut out the pauses, okay? Keep it raw. And if it helps you, talk in your normal language because we've had successful students talk in their language and get a lot of views. So ramble in your own language, that's fine. Cut out the pauses. Keep your lines as natural and authentic as possible if you're doing something like this. And yeah, I would increase your exposure just a tad little bit. It just feels a little bit too bland. So yeah. Let's see. Malachi.
We back. Day 12. I gotta do it today because now Logan's a bum, so I gotta do his.
Put.
It's okay. We actually lost a follower, so it's just 59 instead of 60. So.
Nice. I would have a longer shot. So put your camera wider and get your entire body in that shot. And add music. Alright, Malachi. My G. I want to do Ryan's feedback and Adonis's. So I might just charge my camera, to be honest. I can't be bothered. Alright, let's go with Ryan.
Almost quit creating content to go back into barbering. One of the guys that I went to barbering school is now charging $80 a cut, and he's fully booked out, making in a month what I'm making 3. And here's the thing, I've got the certificate.
One thing, making in a month what I'm making in 3. I'd said it here somewhere. Where is it? If not text. Oh, could have had more text. For example, okay, let me just reload.
I almost quit creating content to go back into barbering. One of the guys that I went to barbering school is now charging $80 a cut, and he's fully booked out, making in a month what I'm making.
Okay, making in a month what I'm making 3. I would have done like one text here with the amount of money you're making. You can fake it, it's fine. And another text comparing it, right? So it's contrasting. Green text. Wait. Yeah, like just do one text here with, let's say, how much you make in a month? $1,000 a month, right? And then what I make in 3. And then you would be like $300 or something like that, right? So do a text comparison there.
3. And here's the thing, I've got the certificate, I've got the skills, I've got the network, got the clientele.
A lot of you guys are just missing those small little details that help make your story more saucy, more interesting, which is like text, voice.
If I really wanted to, tomorrow I could start making some decent money from barbering. But the devil on my shoulder just kept whispering to go back. You already know how to make this work. But this isn't about leaving something behind.
And zooms, I guess, like visual effects. Definitely, I would say to you as well, Ryan, is incorporate zooms. I didn't think I said this here, but yeah. If not text, I would have written it down on a notebook, yeah. Devil whisper. Just go back, you already know how to make this work. Could have said it more dramatic and in a more weirder way, right? So play around with your voice. Again, same thing, same advice as last week. I think I'm going to make next month's games voice related and speaking related. I'm sure you felt the same way with my stupid videos. Yeah, I'm sure you guys feel the same way when you watch my videos whenever I'm being goofy and weird, right? So embrace that playfulness with your voice and speech inflection. So you go up and down, right? Don't be insecure about it because, you're already ahead. So keep it up.
It's about choosing something that I genuinely want to do. With barbering, I know exactly how my life.
See that zoom? That zoom is good. You want to keep it like consistent with it throughout the video. Zoom in, zoom out. Don't do too much, obviously. Keep it subtle. Just keep the graphics or the clip itself moving in any way possible. Whether it's you in the clip or with the clip itself, like zoom ins and stuff.
In 5 years, with content and trying to build a business.
So with this, I would have made the captions higher. I would have put it here because this is a blank space that there's nothing there, so keep this area. Oh, you have Sony ZV, nice. Keep this area for movement, right? Because you're already moving the camera and stuff with your arm, and put the captions up here. So it's like the whole screen is filled, you know what I mean?
I can't even imagine what's going to happen. It just scares me, but it excites me even more. I don't have all the answers, but I know which path I'll regret not choosing. And maybe you're sitting there staring at
music. Change your music. Have one beat, change to a different beat, change to a completely different genre at the end.
Your own safe path.
Spend like an hour downloading sounds.
The one that might guarantee you stability.
Soundtracks, Minecraft music, movie soundtracks, instrumentals, hip-hop beats, Kendrick Lamar type beats. You know what I mean? That's what I have.
The one that everyone else understands. Your version of my barbering might look a little different. A corporate job, family business, or a degree that promises stability. But is stability exciting?
I would have put all these captions up here. Because you know how I said fill up the screen? It's literally what I would do with this. Such a nice view as well, by the way. I would have increased the shadows just a little bit so you can see yourself a little bit more clear. I think that's one major mistake that you did here. You don't have to increase the exposure, just the shadows, so that these black spots are more visible.
Ask again, which path would you regret not taking? Last night I almost...
Very nice. Very, very nice.
In content to go back into...
I like that first shot, by the way. Keep it up, bro. This is really good. I did say have an unexpected awkward ending. Sorry, I didn't know what the word was, but this morning I just found out that what I meant here is have a cliffhanger. So always have a cliffhanger. Well, not always, but like a cliffhanger to support a really deep and meaningful ending, which is what you did, right? Your version of Barber might be different from mine, and then you would have like a cliffhanger where you just say a joke. You break the pattern, say anything out of pocket to surprise the viewer in your very final last line, right? And then cut. That's it. End it there abruptly, right? So, and it works so well. I did that with plenty of videos, and it's really nice. I give you some examples here too, so check it out. You're just in time for the rep review. Oh yeah, I gave this to you yesterday. All right, Adonis, your turn, my guy. I noticed that you got 10K views on one of your videos. Congratulations, my G. Let's go. Let's go.
Struggling with intense FOMO.
Okay, one mistake is the additional footage that you put there. I would not have done that. I would have just put that in that first clip there, right? So I wouldn't add any more. I wouldn't combine two sentences together, and that's what you did with that intense FOMO line. So don't do that.
I dropped out of university to become a content creator.
Are you crying? Did this guy cry for the video? Oh my goodness.
All my friends were going to parties,
No way you're tearing up.
living the college lifestyle.
Oh, look at that. Very cool. Very cool effect.
And even after going to countless clubs to fill that void, every time I came home, I called my friends because I felt so alone. Until I found the Holy Spirit. And this not.
Until I found the Holy Spirit. It felt rushed, dude. Chill out. Until I found the Holy Spirit. Right? Pull up the drawer. Until I found the Holy Spirit. It's like, mean what you say. Don't rush it.
Some woo rah. Just take a listen. Take a
I like this. This is like you being authentic and speaking the way you speak. I really like this.
Again, bro, you're here. Call to create, episode 2. Let's go back to this morning, bro. I couldn't focus. I didn't know what to write a video about. It was just difficult, bro. Until the kids came and they hugged me and they even...
Don't do knock 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 in quotation marks. Do it in asterisks. So like this. Like that. Like that, right? Do it like that.
Ask for my autograph. Like, who am I, bro? Like, I'm not anybody.
Your son's a great guy.
So I realized the Bible really wasn't lying when it told me.
Okay, I didn't really understand what was going on there. Like kids showed up for what, though? You
You are
know?
the light of the world. A me who
So you gotta kind of explain it in that same sentence.
still has addictions to masturbate, who's constantly procrastinating, who feels lonely all the time. Even broken as I am the light.
What do you mean? Oh, bro, it's so nostalgic. But again, I think I said this to you yesterday and you were like mind blown. Use different soundtracks, use different music.
And that hit me so profoundly that all my days I'll drop out again.
I like that. I like that. Cut music, black screen with text. Oh yeah, with that black screen with text, the ending, I would drop out again. I would cut the music. Don't have the music there. All right, keep it up, my G. We'll do one more for Adonis, one more for Charles, one more for Tristan, Kuba, and that's it. And Jesse. All right, let's get it.
I just went from the most clapped guy on the continent to a solid 8.7. I realized all I needed to do so was analyze my facial structure. I know you're probably thinking my forehead is too fucking big or my cheeks are too chubby, but you can get a hairstyle that hides your forehead and you can do facial exercises to get your face muscles in shape. So we have the opportunity to create and grow ourselves if only we take a little bit of attention to grow in the places that we're insecure. I'm a retired fat person, though. I'm a fucking retired fat person. I just went from the most clapped guy on the continent to a solid 8.7. I realized all I needed to do so was analyze my facial structure. I know you're probably thinking my forehead is too fucking big or my cheeks are too chubby, but you can get a hairstyle that hides your forehead and you can do facial exercises to get your face muscles in shape. So we have the opportunity to
Ooh, One Direction. I like that.
create and grow ourselves.
I think the video itself, like 80%, first 90% of the video is good, but the ending you could have done better.
If only we take a little bit of attention to grow in the places that we're insecure. I'm a retired fat person, though. I'm a fucking retired fat person.
Yeah, have a nice, deep, and meaningful lesson there. You don't have to end it off with comedy straight away. Yeah, add some value. I think it was missing some value. Yeah. Okay. Charles.
That property to your kids unless you want them to pay $300,000 in taxes. Everyone wants to bless their kids, but what they don't understand is that the IRS is waiting for their cut. If you gift your family home or add your kids onto the deed while you're still alive, you're actually giving them a tax burden. This isn't just a mistake, it's a wealth killer. Here's how it actually works and how the wealthy do things a little bit differently. Carryover in cost basis equals a tax. So let's say you bought your home back in 1975 for $250,000, and today it's worth $1.2 million. If you gift the property over to your kids now, their cost basis stays at $250,000. When they sell, they will owe up to $900,000.
And when they sell. And remember the storytelling starters and when they sell.
50K in capital gains. Now, depending on the state and their tax bracket, that's anywhere up to 250 to 400,000 gone. Step up in cost basis equals tax-free exit. When they inherit the same house,
Tax-free exit, I would have added a graphic. So tell your editor to add a graphic there of whatever tax-free exit. I have no idea what it is. But like, just add a graphic, a visual graph or a table or something like that, right? Emoji.
the cost basis will stay at 1.2 million current market value. And if they sell that,
Yeah, I think
immediately,
you should, with your captions, get your editor to, I'm talking to you, Charles, get your editor to, what's it called? Add graphics. Yeah, just like visual stuff. Not images, but like, you know those graphics, right? Like, what? Community graphic PNG. Like this. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm talking about community, I would have add this if I were you. Like, I'm sure there's plenty in your niche too.
there will be no capital gains tax owed. That is a $300,000 tax swing avoided
$300,000, the caption should have been bigger.
just because of proper structuring,
And then avoided, you could have crossed out, your editor could have crossed out that 300,000. Could have done like a little effect there.
planning, and timing. Combining that with a Delaware statutory trust will increase your flexibility and protection. Be
Increase flexibility and protection, put both of those words on screen, put like an increasing graph or something like that.
sure to consult a tax attorney to prevent any type of family feud drama.
Family Feud drama, you could have visualized that as well with a graphic.
May be worth
Okay, the one thing that I got from this, add some graphics and see what happens, Charles. I think it will help you out a lot.
legacy, and I will send you the full.
One thing that I did with the CTAs as well. My main rules for CTAs is share the dream first, then call the action. Because you said DM me this to get this. I say to get this, DM me this. So it's the other way around. So it's like, if you want the full lead magnet to make your dream come true, comment the word. So you show the dream, and then you show the dream and the benefit first, and then you give them the call to action. Comment. So you can replace dream outcome. Yeah, and I gave you a little breakdown here too, so you can have a read with that. I posted it in the forum as well, so you guys can see. What else is there? Okay, great work, Charles. Keep it up, bro.
Doesn't mean you have high standards. It means you're scared of not being enough. I didn't realize how much being a perfectionist was ruining my life. I'd spend hours planning but never starting, fixating on the smallest detail while never taking action on the big goal. I would say to myself, I just want to be good, but really, I was scared someone would see the real me and not.
Did I say something here for this? I think I did. Yeah. Make the first duplicate shot faster. So you see this part.
Perfectionist doesn't mean you have
These blurry duplicates, I would have made them way faster, like 3 times faster.
high standards. It means you're scared of not.
And the main subject, the main doppelganger, I don't know, like the main Kuba, right? I would have made the main Kuba look around more. Like, whatever movement you're doing, like looking around, worried, I would have made it more stressful. Like, really emphasize it by miming your actions on camera.
Being enough. I didn't realize how much being a perfectionist was ruining my life.
Again, story starter. Because I didn't realize. Not I didn't realize. Because I didn't realize. Okay?
Spent hours
Connect your... This is a really good shot, by the way. But yeah, as I was saying, connect your words with the story starter list.
planning but never starting, fixating on the smallest detail or never taking action on the big goal. I would say to myself, I just want to be good, but really, I was scared someone would see the real me and not be impressed. So I stayed stuck, waiting for perfect, while life kept moving, waiting for the perfect time, perfect opportunity, and to finally be perfect. Perfection isn't power, it's a
Perfection is in power. Your captions was here. I would have put it above here. Because this is like a blank color, right? So I would have put it here, just so you can fill up the screen. And this bottom part could have just been you and talking, right? So spread it out throughout top and bottom.
prison. And the only way out is if you give yourself permission to be seen, even if it's messy. The ideal of perfection is the great lengths to strive for, but not being perfect and doing the work always beats trying to be perfect and never starting. Being a perfectionist.
Good. Love the whiteboard marker shot. Great ending, but I would have added comedy to break the pattern at the very last second. So I give you an example, like say a funny 3-second joke. but what I meant is have a nice little cliffhanger just to add that cherry on top. Cliffhangers are also good. I think I should tell you guys. I might make a post on it. Yeah, cliffhangers are really useful for that, you know, extra like. All right, last video is for Jesse. Let's get it.
I genuinely believe that marriage was God's way of punishing.
Okay, that shot. How do I say this?
2021, I genuinely believe that
In 2021, I would have done like the numbers 2021.
marriage was God's way of punishing us for the way we treat him. And the worst part, I can prove it.
And the worst part should have been a completely different shot, not the same extreme long shot that you did.
Because every time someone would ask, yeah, the gambling yet? I'd say, if I want to love the way Jesus.
Okay. What I would do there, because I know you did like really fast cuts, right? I think you might be a little bit too fast because you said because every time, what did you say? Let me watch it again. Sorry.
21, I genuinely believe that marriage was God's way of
And you should have zoomed from the very start of the clip, okay? Not the middle.
punishing us for the way we treat him. And the worst part, I can prove it. Because every time someone would ask,
Okay, because every time someone would ask,
do you have a girlfriend?
do you have a girlfriend yet? I would have said that in one whole line, one single clip, okay? One talking head clip. I wouldn't have split it up with this. Because every time someone would ask, hey Ken, do you have a girlfriend yet? Like, I would have done it in one clip, okay? Don't split it up. Otherwise, it's just messy. Because you also did this.
Yeah,
I'd say. Okay, you could have done the I'd say this line here with a different clip. Okay, so 1 and then 2. Okay, you don't have to do 1 2 1 2. That's just too messy, you know, and it doesn't sound natural.
I want to love the way Jesus loves, then even if my wife makes my life a living hell, I can't divorce her.
Okay, even if my wife makes my life a living hell, you should have put B-roll clips. This is like the perfect line to put a B-roll clip of you and your wife in your daily life or from your camera roll. Okay,
Because Jesus would never.
like this whole segment could have been B-roll. Like literally, it's dude. But it's okay. You can do it for the next time.
Leave me, even though I break his heart every single day. And the crazy part, no one could argue with that. The more people.
And the crazy part, look up to the camera there. And the crazy part, no one could argue with that. So you should have looked up and then looked away. And the crazy part, no one, yeah, whatever.
The more I told, the more confident I became. So one day, my mom heard I wanted to be single forever. So she sat me down and said, "But why?" So I gave her my flawless explanation. And when I finished, I smiled. I thought I'd won. But then she looked me in the eye and said, "Yeah, but Jesse, that's selfish. And I know you. You're not a selfish person." Just like that, my walls crumbled. Because deep down, I wasn't afraid of marriage. I was just hurt. Rejected by someone I thought was the one. And I needed a reason to hide from love. To cover reminds me who I was. And
Whenever you saw that word hurt, I would have added a click sound effect there. But it's okay if you don't want to.
today, I'm married to the woman of my dreams.
Aw.
Honestly, some days are tough. But this time I know it's not punishment. It's sanctification. In 2020...
I would have added that last shot. I would have extended it for like 3 seconds because nobody could have read that. No one, like, yeah. You gotta extend it more. Or you could have said, and that was episode 4, you know? So, yeah. Keep it up. Great cheekiness. I did say impersonations and cheekiness. Don't try hard to be funny. You can look away from the camera if you're impersonating a girl or making a silly joke. You don't have to stare at the camera and be like, haha, silly joke. 1, 2, 3. Like, don't be robotic about it. Slow down your lines, especially that you have the most, especially the ones you have the most value in. So don't rush into the next line because of the 2-second rule. People recognize your pace, but if you break the pace, your storytelling becomes unexpected. Okay, so slow down. It's okay. And yeah, that was the rep review of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and much love. I will see you guys next week.